All right, what is going on, Libras? Welcome back to the channel, Elevated Spirits. It's Jazi, your favorite Cali reader. So this is going to be your full moon / end of the year reading. I do realize that the full moon has obviously passed. However, this energy is still very present and very intense for many of us, as we're all in different parts of the journey and different parts of the timeline. So just know that when the messages come to you is when they're essentially meant for you. Nothing is by mistake or coincidence, and the energy is timeless. Technically, you know, that's man-made construct. So just know that, you know, time is literally fluid instead of linear. This is just kind of like what we've been kind of like taught and conditioned to, you know, think and believe and live our lives surrounding. So, you know, I'm kind of rolling with what I'm being guided to do at this time. And for those that still do celebrate, you know, the new year and things like that, you know, do what you do. Okay. We're, like I said, we're all where we're meant to be at this time. So I will be doing a actual new moon reading. I mean, not new moon, new year reading come the actual new year, which is in April. I believe it's the 1st. That's a whole nother message that I'll have to get into at a different time. Now is not the time for that. But I hope y'all are doing well. I hope you're doing your best to stay as balanced and in alignment as possible. Allow yourself to give yourself grace during this time. This really is, like I said, we were taught to believe that this time is the time for planning new things and starting new things, and it's new year and new and all this and that, when really it's really a period of hibernation and going within and resting and regenerating, recuperating to prepare for the actual new year, which is the harvest, when things start blossoming again, which is springtime. So if you're not feeling, you know, like going out and you know, getting drunk with everybody and doing all these different things, please give yourself that grace. It's happening for a reason. It's really Mother Nature and the universe's way of trying to get you back into alignment with the true ecosystem, with the true cycle of life, right? And not what society has taught us is the cycle. So let's get into your messages. So just looking at the bottoms of the decks that I have used so far, this is definitely going to be a period of growth, definitely a period of expansion. There are some things that I feel like some of you, if you have not already started doing, you're being guided to kind of clean up and get rid of, and basically kind of like clear the space to make room for the new, essentially. So kind of like getting rid of dead weight, whether that's energetically, whether that's physically, emotionally, spiritually, whatever, you know, however that fits for you. I feel like some of you may, whether you know this or not, some of you definitely have at least one suitor that I feel like has an eye on you. Okay. I feel like because this is at the bottom of the decks, this is something you're unaware of, that someone is maybe kind of like peeping you out, kind of like getting information about you. This person could be reaching out to like your friends or people that you know, people that seem close to you, especially if you guys have mutual friends or mutual connections. Someone's definitely trying to, like, I feel like, kind of like I said, fill you out. See if you're single, if you're seeing anyone, do you have kids, what, you know, trying to get more information about you before they actually pursue you. Okay, I definitely feel like it's a suitor. It could definitely be a Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. This could, like I said, be someone you are already kind of like have kind of feeling like someone seem like they, you know, like it's like I feel like some of you may have a feeling, like an inkling that someone has been, you know, checking up on you or checking on you, checking into you in that, you know, sort of sense. And that wouldn't be, you know, if you're already feeling like that, then obviously it's accurate. But I feel like this is definitely a period of blossoming, definitely a period of growth. And that's why I feel like it's important for you guys to, you know, this is a time for decluttering, you know, kind of like making space, making room, like I said, regenerating yourself, your energy, you know, if anything, preparing for the real new year, right? By making, you know, kind of like getting an idea of the things that you do want to start doing, the goals that you do want to set, and start actually putting plans into action for. Okay. So let's get into your messages and see what's going on for you guys during this time. So we have card 30, 24, 5, and 26. Those might be numbers of significance. Could be maybe born on any of those dates, or they may be like path numbers. These could also be numbers that you're seeing frequently. Okay. The 24 stepping into the new year. 5s, definitely, like I said, things changing. Like I said, making room for things. Some of you may be 30, maybe turning 30. This may be your like, I don't want to say dirty 30, but for some of you it might be 26. So the garden and the gate. We have adjacent possibilities, attachment, and happy. Okay, so I feel like some of you are being asked to release at this time. I'll show you the cards. Garden of the gate, adjacent possibilities here. attachment. For some of you, this is an attachment that some of you, whether this is an actual connection or just, you know, I feel like it feels like an attachment for some of you. Obviously, it's going to be different for all of you. It is a general reading. So, you know, that's what the private consultations are for, right? That's tailored to your own specific energy. So if you're feeling so called or guided, feel free to reach out for one of those. But it feels like some of you, this could definitely be some type of soul attachment, like a soul tie that some of you have that I feel like at one point did make you happy. But I feel like some of you are starting to, you know, kind of like realize that maybe there's other, it's like there's more out there. And I'm not saying in a sense that, you know, we need to be always searching for something new or something like that, but it's more so just, I feel like some of you are kind of aware that you're not maybe as happy as you once were, or maybe you thought you were happy with this person or in this connection, this environment, whatever it is for you, but you're kind of starting to realize that, you know, like there's that, like your soul is not happy. You know, it's not that you necessarily aren't, but I feel like your soul is yearning for more. It's like, I feel like some of you have been kind of in this energy of kind of like keeping yourself kind of like stuck behind closed doors to a point. It doesn't have to be obviously physically, but I mean more so spiritually, metaphorically speaking, where it's like, you know, there's more out there that you want to do, that you want to venture, that you want to experience, but some of you have been kind of like holding yourself back from doing that. And I feel like that's for some of you, this attachment that is, you know, needing to shift at this time, that's needing to, you know, kind of dissipate, that some of you are really being asked to release. Whether, like I said, this could be a connection, this could be, you know, fears, you know, all things that are tied to the devil, which is Capricorn energy. Some of you may be dealing with the Capricorn, but it's giving me all the things that are similar to that energy, that kind of like keep us stuck, tied, bound, you know, fears of based off things that have happened in the past, things that already happened, or, you know, before. It's kind of giving me that energy here, where you're kind of being asked to really rediscover what makes you happy, you know, and ask yourself, like, you know, we do things and we've been doing it for so long, but then we kind of ignore when we're no longer happy with what we're doing. You know what I'm saying? Change is the only constant. And I feel like some of you are really being asked to embrace change at this time. Okay. Some of you are, it's like your soul is ready to blossom, ready to do something new, try something new. And I feel like you're being asked to really honor that process and allow yourself to explore, allow yourself to venture outside of, you know, for some of you, it's like allowing yourself to venture outside these gates, right? It's like, I feel like some of you, you know, have been kind of like in this place that's been comfortable and safe, you know, for so long, to where there's many doors, many doors of opportunities that are starting to open up for you, that are wanting to open up for you. But I feel like it's a matter of you choosing, you know, like, I want to go be happy. I want to do something different. I want to, you know, explore more than I already have. I feel like some of you, it's like your soul is calling you outwards to go do things. And it's, you know, obviously it's up to you. Free will is the thing. But I really feel like some of you are really being asked to kind of like allow yourself to detach from what's been, you know, comfortable for you, what's been safe for you. I'm not saying just take uncalculated risks, but no, calculated risks, but doing things differently, allowing yourself to get out and explore and run free, let your inner child live, let yourself discover what makes you happy again. You know what I'm saying? There are doors, like I said, of opportunity that are opening up for you, that some of you may not be seeing. Some of you do see them, but you're kind of ignoring them because it's safer and more comfortable, right? To kind of like stay where it's safe, stay where, you know, you've always been. But I feel like you guys are really being called to grow out of that and, you know, kind of like let yourself explore more. Okay. So I really feel like this is a time to really detach from the fears that have maybe been keeping some of you held back, keeping you in your comfort zone, and allow yourself to actually step out of your comfort zone and do something different. You know, something that maybe you wanted to do, but it's like, I could never do that. Like, no, do that shit. Do that. If you've been feeling it, do it, right? If you can, if you have the resources, the time, the energy, you know what I mean? If there's nothing holding you back besides your own mind telling you can't do it, that's your indication. Do that. Go do it, right? Because the only thing you'll do is end up getting old and regret not doing it. I'm just saying. So we don't want that, do we? So we have the Ace of Wands clarified by the Eight of Wands. Okay. We have the Alchemist clarified by the Ace of Swords. 2 aces, by the way. And the Magician is a 1 in itself, so that's a 3, right? And then we have the Tower clarified by the Hangman. Okay. So 3 major arcanas here. Out of 6 cards, 3 are major. Interesting. Things that your world is about to get shaken up, Libra. And I feel like it's really putting you on the path. I feel like Archangel Michael definitely has something to do with this, with the Ace of Swords here. I feel like it's helping you see yourself more clearly. I feel like some of you have maybe been passing up opportunities, kind of like really just feeling kind of like I said, stuck in the old, stuck in stuck in the mundane, you know, not really allowing yourself to explore and live like fully and completely, like really get out there and do different things. So some of you are really being guided at this time to identify what attachments that are holding you back, whether it's fear, whether it's people around you that aren't honoring, you know, this adventurous spirit you have, or there's people around you that are too scared to do things. So it makes you, they're essentially project their fears onto you. Allow yourself to release those kind of people and open up, start allowing yourself to open up to the different things that you can do, different things you can try, different places, different restaurants, foods, whatever it is, and just start doing things little by little. If you need to take baby steps, this is the time to start doing that. I do feel like you guys have, there's like new opportunities that are ready to come into you, okay? For some of you, this could be communication, things happening really, really quickly. For others of you, this could be, you know, communication, some type of good news that some of you have been waiting for, that you've essentially manifested. I feel like it's definitely community. We have two communication cards here, the Eight of Wands with the Ace of Swords. So I feel like for some of you, this is kind of like a new idea that may be coming to you, that you're going to need to respond to, you're going to need to act on. So I feel like it's important for you guys to identify whatever these attachments are that some of you, you know, have been, that's been kind of holding some of you back, because some of you have manifested new beginnings, new starts, breakthrough. This is like breakthrough energy. So whether this is coming in the form of a thought, an idea, or, you know, someone randomly reaching out to you and kind of like finding you out of nowhere, where like sometimes people have that where they, where jobs will like reach out to them and it's like, I didn't even apply for it. It like fell into my lap. That's like the hands of the divine. And that's what I feel like is happening here, where you guys are essentially, things that you've asked for, things you've manifested are trying to come into your experience. And I feel like it is going to shake your world up. It is going to, you know, kind of throw you off in a good way, right? So I feel like it's going to be important for you guys to allow yourself to surrender the things that are trying to leave, the things that maybe you know you need to let go of, whether it's people, fears, limiting beliefs, negative thoughts, negative talk to yourself, you know, any of that stuff. All those things, addictions, whether it's addictions to, you know, why am I hearing porn addictions? That's not going to be for all of you, but people maybe that you're dating that have that, you know, do that. It causes brain damage. I just, you know, learned about that too. And I'm just like, holy shit, you know, so different things like that some of you are really being asked to let go of and release at this time. It's going to benefit you way more than it's going to hurt you by holding on to it. Okay. So, and also things that are falling apart right now, it's falling apart. So what you've been asking for, what some of you have been manifesting, for that to fall together. I feel like some of you needed to know that it's going to be important. As for some of you, this could be whatever this tower moment is that some of you are experiencing or have experienced, whether it's happened or not. Something is falling apart here. And I feel like some of you are really being asked to, where if normally the way you would respond would be you flip out and you know, you get upset and you yell and you get into this rage. Some of you are really being asked to shift your perspective about whatever this tower moment is. Whatever you find is falling apart in your life, allow yourself to shift your perspective about it and see it differently. See how it's really benefiting you, how it's really helping you, how it's really a part of ultimately what you're manifesting. For some of you, it's like a new start. For some of you, it's like teaching you how to speak your truth in maybe a way you have not before. Like it can be a number of different things, right? But just understand that whatever is falling apart is essentially falling together. So I feel like it's kind of like really low-key granting you a brand new opportunity for things to move really quickly, okay? For things to like happen and change really fast. It's just a matter of how you choose to see it. If you choose to see it as a negative thing, then the longer the discomfort or pain or, you know, all the negative energy that typically comes with towers, not all the time, but sometimes, it's like it allows that to dissipate and, you know, be relieved of it even faster if you allow yourself to see it from a higher perspective, a higher vantage point of, you know, how this is really trying to benefit me versus hurt me. Okay. So let's jump into what is on the horizon. So this is what you're leaving, what this full moon / waning phase is having you leave behind or trying to help you release in order to step into. So that's what we're talking about here in the middle card. I meant to say this at the beginning and I forgot. So anywho, in the middle cards here in the middle are advice from your spirit guides. Okay, so let's see what is on the horizon. So we have card 15. Okay, some of you may be born on the 15th. Life path for number 15 is appreciation. Then we have card 18, anxiety. Okay, and then we have patience, card 16. So all the teens here, that's interesting. And then co-create, card 40. Okay, so like I said, some of you are it's preparing you essentially to step into a time where you're co-creating with spirit. Like I was saying, with the things that you're essentially manifesting, I feel like whatever you're detaching from, for some of you, it's like a limiting belief that I don't have what it takes, or, you know, it's like I'm not good enough to have something like that, or I'm not, you know, equipped to have such experience, or, you know, like why would it be me? Why me? You know, why not you? Right? So I feel like some of you, this is essentially preparing you for the things that you've been asking for from spirit. Okay, it's teaching you, for some of you, it's like teaching you how to be patient with yourself and others. And as you learn that certain lessons that some of you are learning, as you shift your perspective about it and surrender maybe the victim mentality, or the idea that, you know, things are happening to you instead of for you, is going to also help you build the patience you need. I feel like some of you may be you may be feeling a lot of anxiety coming into, you know, this time frame. On the other side of whatever this stuff is that you're being asked to release at this time, I feel like some of you may be feeling anxious because of the unknown, right? But that's where all the juicy stuff typically lies, is on the other side of what we can't see. Okay, and that's again why I feel like you're being asked to really shift your perspective about anything that may be falling apart in your life, because it's really essentially, it would have happened anyway. Anything that crumbles wasn't built on a solid foundation in the first place. That's typically why the tower even happens, right? Is because it wasn't this house that's all of a sudden falling apart and everybody's being thrown out of it, is because it wasn't built on a solid foundation. The groundwork wasn't made solid in the first place, so it would eventually happen. So it's like, it's better to happen now whenever it does, versus letting it keep trying to prolong it and keep trying to do patchwork that isn't really fixing anything, right? And so I feel like for some of you, it's essentially teaching you how to be more patient with yourself and the process, because as you put things together in a patient way and you take your time, it like gives you an opportunity to not only get it right the first time, but you catch any of the mistakes as you're building, right? You'll know if something is missing. That would be like, oh my God, I'm glad I caught that now, instead of building this whole big old house and not realizing that we're missing a whole side, you know what I'm saying? That would throw off the balance of the house, and then you'd have a lopsided house that would eventually fall anyway. You see what I'm saying? So I feel like some of you, it's helping you see, be more patient with yourself, but also the process of whatever it is that you're trying to build, and whatever it is you're co-creating with spirit. I feel like some of you, it's like helping you not only appreciate the process, but appreciate yourself and all your hard work and all the work that you've been doing. For some of you, it's also preparing you for a partner that is also going to really appreciate you and appreciate all that you are, especially for those of you, like a lot of us have dated people who, you know, we've gone through a lot, and we've healed a lot, we've grown a lot, and you meet people who just, they don't see it, right? They don't appreciate all you do for them and all the, you know, the journey that you've lived, you know, that you've, you know, embarked on. So I feel like this is also giving you an opportunity to really allow the universe to appreciate you, to show you, you know, all, like, kind of like give you your flowers, so to speak, for all the work you've been doing. Okay, I feel like you guys really deserve that. And this is like essentially preparing you, kind of like tearing down anything that doesn't honor that doesn't honor your path, that can't appreciate you to the level that you really deserve. So I feel like for some of you, as painful as some of this stuff may be, especially if you know, felt like you were happy with it, I feel like going forward in the long term, like in the long run, it's you know, it's you're not gonna get the same benefit and reward that I feel like you think you will have, even if whatever you have right now, I feel like it's temporary, it's short-lived. It's not gonna be something that's gonna like stand the test of time, so to speak. So I hope that makes sense. So let's see. High Priestess, okay, clarified by the Empress, beautiful. So 2 major arcanas already, okay. This is a major period for you guys. 9 of Swords, clarified by the 4 of Cups. And then we have the Ace of Cups, clarified by the 3 of Swords, okay. So I feel like some of you, Libras, this is really going to be a time for you to really trust yourself, trust your intuition at this time. I feel like there may be some secrets that some of you are unaware of. For some of you, this could be a pregnancy. Someone could be pregnant and you don't know about it. whether this is yourself or someone else. You know, take it as it fits. I feel like some of you, this is like something that someone that you're maybe talking to or dealing with or have some type of an attachment to. And this could also be someone who has an attachment to someone else, and that's why this is here. I feel like some of you are dealing with that, where someone could have stepped out on the relationship or on the connection, and they, you know, essentially got someone pregnant and they're not telling you about it. I feel like some of you have an inkling, you have a deep down knowing, and that could be what's causing some anxiety for some of you. But I feel like you're really being asked to, like I said, be patient and kind of like come to the understanding that, you know, when it's time for things to be revealed, when it's time for you to know the truth, or, you know, whatever, it will be revealed. So you don't need to rush that process. You just need to continue to stay as balanced as possible and trust yourself, pour into yourself. I'm also getting here, know your worth, because the Empress, she knows her worth. She knows her value. She knows that she will always be provided for, right? So for some of you, you may be kind of like finding out that, like, you know, like you got pregnant and it's like, I was not expecting that. This was not supposed to happen, or, you know, and that could be what some of you are really feeling anxious about. So Spirit is saying, be patient with yourself, be patient with this process, follow your intuition about, you know, what you're being guided to do, how you're being guided to handle it. The anxiety is shown up here twice here. So I feel like some of you, it's like, you know, it's important for you to get a handle on what may be causing you anxiety, what may be stressing you out, what may be keeping you from getting good sleep and good rest, because it's only going to amplify that and create more of that. Okay. But I feel like some of you are really being asked to love yourself at this time. Okay. Anything that's causing you anxiety, it's time for you to choose yourself and not settle. Okay. That's also what I'm getting here with this Nine of Swords and the Four of Cups. It's like, you know, you're really being asked to trust your intuition and choose yourself here. Okay. Especially if, for those of you that are like dealing with a partner, there may be some type of truth that's being revealed here, some type of communication, clarity about something that some of you have been kind of like, I'm not sure about, you know, I'm not sure if this is, you know, for me, or if they're being honest with me, you know, whatever. It's like some of you, you're being guided to really trust what your intuition is telling you, because you're not going to always get the 3D physical tangible proof of something that you know deep down. That is what your intuition is there for, because if that's not available, that's going to also help you and still protect you and help you make informed decisions. It's just a matter of if you choose to trust it or not. So some of you are really being guided to trust what your intuition is telling you at this time, especially if it's around a person that's been causing you some type of stress or anxiety. You know, this is essentially saying to, you know, not settle. Okay. Don't, you know, stay in something that makes you worry. You know what I'm saying? Don't stay with people who stress you out, who you have to question their motives, and, you know, try to question if they're being honest with you, if they're telling you the truth, or if they would even step out on you. If that's even a thought, then that's not someone that you need to be with. So some of you are really, you know, preparing. This is essentially, for some of you, I feel like it's preparing you for new love. Okay. And someone may get hurt in that process with the Three of Swords. Okay. For those of you that are maybe not looking for love, or where that doesn't apply, it's, for some of you, it's essentially choosing yourself in a situation, and, you know, taking this time to really love on yourself. Okay. Some of you, like I said, it's like, you know, really feeling like, I need to follow my intuition. If I'm feeling too anxious being in a partnership or being in this environment or whatever that is, this is your indication that you really need to choose yourself, and, you know, allow yourself to sit with why you feel so stressed, why you feel so anxious about it. And, you know, I feel like also not pass up opportunities that could be really good for you. Okay. I feel like some of you, there's other people that are trying to come into your experience, other, opportunities that are being presented to you that some of you may be declining, because it's giving you, it's stressing you out. It's like some of you are carrying over something that has already happened with one situation. It's like carrying it over into another, right? So there may be some healing that can be done around that, and, you know, really pouring into yourself at this time, so that way you're not basically taking out on another what someone else did. Okay. I feel like some of you too, like I said, this is new love, and it's coming after a really rough period. For some of you, this is like going through some type of breakup, and there's new love on the horizon, someone that you can actually trust. And I feel like it's because some of you were patient. You're patient with yourself, patient with the process, and you waited for this. So for some of you, that could be what this is, that some of you, you know, have gotten so comfortable maybe being with yourself and by yourself, that when an opportunity presents itself, some of you may be ready to reject it because you kind of like got used to being single for so long. Okay, like I said, that's not going to be for everyone, but I would be mindful of that, because some of you may end up passing up an opportunity and you're going to break your own heart by realizing after the fact, hindsight, that that was really my person and I turned them down because essentially I wasn't ready for what I was essentially co-creating with spirit. You know, I asked for this blessing, but maybe you felt like it took so long to where, you know, when it finally arrived, you end up passing it by and not even realizing it. Okay, so I feel like spirit is asking you to be patient, and know that your hard work is paying off. There, like spirit is positioning you to be able to receive all the accolades and, you know, the rewards that some of you have been working really, really hard for, whether that comes, you know, in the form of new opportunities and new possibilities and things like that. For others of you, this is coming in the form of new love, somewhat like a partnership, a companion, someone that you can, you know, confide in, that is there for you, you know, in all areas and on all fronts, right? What I'm also getting here though, too, with what you guys are being asked to release at this time, for some of you, this is a person that has a bunch of options, meaning this is someone who, you know, pretends that they're happy or that you make them happy and things like that. And I'm not saying it has anything to do with you, but for some of you, it's teaching you how to choose yourself because someone else, you know, is keeping their options open. And some of you have kind of like maybe closed yourself off to, you know, the possibilities that are available to you or that are trying to present themselves to you. And someone that you're maybe talking to or dealing with still has their options open. It's like they're keeping one foot in, one foot out of another situation. And some of you, this could be what's being hidden from you and you don't even know it. For some of you, this is someone that you're going to end up finding out about, that, you know, someone that you're talking to or dating or whatever is still talking to an ex or someone that they have kids with. Okay. And some of you, it's Archangel Michael's going to show you the truth. The truth is going to be revealed. It's going to reveal itself. For some of you, this may be, it may come in the form of someone calling you. You may be getting an email from someone, like some type of communication that's going to come. Okay. For others of you, someone may be trying to rush to you, like maybe trying to rush to have sex with you or, you know, get in your pants or whatever. And they may end up getting caught. Like someone may end up literally seeing them, like catching them red-handed. And that could be maybe what's blowing something up here. Okay. With the tower. So like I said, but if, you know, whatever this tower represents for you, you're being asked to, like I said, see it from a different perspective, see how it's really helping you and, you know, maybe showing you something before you got too deep involved, before you got too invested in a situation, right? That maybe felt like it made you happy, but, you know, there's more that you're unaware of, because this adjacent possibilities is giving me the vibe of Seven of Cups energy, right? Someone who is elusive, right? Whatever they're telling you, it's like, it could be that, but it could be a bunch of other things too, that they may be faithful, but they could also be talking to a bunch of other people. It's kind of like, you just don't know, right? And so that's where I feel like, again, you guys are really being asked to follow your intuition at this time, to really tap in to your intuitive abilities. For some of you, that's kind of what's happening here, is that your intuition is being increased, and it's going to, you know, position you to really step into your power as the Empress, to really sit on your throne as that Empress. Okay. And the things that are stressing you out, people that are stressing you out, it's like you're turning a blind eye to them. You're like rejecting them. You're turning it down. You're like, no, I'm not doing this anymore. And that's a beautiful place to be. And like I said, you choosing yourself is, I feel like, hurting someone else. It's essentially breaking someone else's heart because you finally chose you. Now, like I said, in doing so though, that still goes hand in hand with new love, because as you learn how to love yourself fully, unconditionally, and completely, it positions you to co-create with spirit in attracting a partner that is, you know, has the capacity and is ready to do the same. Okay. So let's get some advice from your guides. And so we have discernment, card number 10. Okay. I don't know why the video just cut off randomly like that. I don't know if it's space or what, but anyway, I'm gonna try to finish this real fast. So anywho, discernment and self-reflection. So like I was saying, that this discernment, the 10 here, that represents new beginnings, things needing to end to start over. But this is like, you can't see what's ahead with the clouds that are covering her face. So you have to trust your gut in a situation here. So spirit is asking you, it's like some of you are being put in a position specifically to learn how to trust yourself a bit more. And that's again what we were talking about here at the High Priestess and the Empress. energy. It's like trusting yourself in a situation and knowing that I can trust myself now. I know my worth, I know my value. And some of you, that's what you're manifesting here, is being able to see things clearly, see people clearly, so you can properly discern, you know, what it is and what it's not, even when your physical eyes aren't showing you the evidence, right? So, and that requires you to do some reflecting, going within, taking the time to, you know, clear the blockages and, you know, ask for the guidance, ask for what it is that you want. So Michael, Archangel Michael, and angels like him, and as well as your ancestors, can show you, right? But you have to be willing to, you know, ask for what it is that you want. They're not going to infringe upon your free will. So it's going to be important for you guys to really ask for what you want and be open to receive it. Okay. So Libras, that's what I have for you. I really hope you enjoyed this reading. If you did, I appreciate if you give it a thumbs up. Consider subscribing if you have not. And until next time, you guys.